Good morning, sweet ladies. Thank you for joining us in Far Above Rubies today. I'm so very glad that each of you are here. Today we are focused on Hebrews chapter 3, and I'm going to talk to you for a moment about the thought entering into his rest, okay? Enter into his rest. This passage talks to us about God's perspective whenever the children of Israel in the Old Testament continually rebelled against God and turned away from him. It says, speaking from the Lord's perspective, it says, they tried my patience. They tried my patience. Even after having seen my miracles, they tried my patience. He is talking about a loving relationship in which the other end continues to reject you. And that is what God was dealing with. He gave them everything. He delivered them from slavery and bondage in their life. And yet they would come to him and use him, and then they would reject him and rebel against his love. And he says in this passage, God says, so I took an oath. In my anger, I took an oath. I made an oath that they would never enter into my rest. So what happened was the adult generations that continually turned against God in those passages in the Old Testament, they did not enter the promised land. Those generations died, it tells us, and did not see the promised land. It was the younger generations that did not rebel against God, did not murmur and complain and reject him. Those are the generations that entered into the promised land. And Paul is telling us here in this passage, he's saying, don't let that be us today. Don't let us just use God and abuse God and allow him to deliver us and set us free and perform miracles in our lives. And then we take that, we say, I love you, and then I'm out. Okay, that's what he's warning us against. He's admonishing us. Don't rebel against the love of God. Don't run away from him the moment you receive what you want from him. Don't be that fair weather friend. Don't be that I've got what I needed. I got what I came for. Thanks, God. You're awesome. See you next Easter. Okay, that's what Paul is telling us here. He says, don't make God say about us, I will not let them enter into my rest. He's saying it is very possible for you to miss heaven, God's rest, God's promised land for us. It's very possible for you to miss that rest God talks about because you rebel against him, because you reject him, because you turn away from him after he has given you everything, after he laid down his life for you, after he set you free from bondage and slavery of sin in this world. It is possible for you to then look at him and say, thank you, but I'm out, and miss the promised land. Check your hearts. Paul says, tell each other on a daily basis, check your heart. Don't rebel against God. Don't make God take an oath about you that says she will not enter into my rest. Nobody wants that. We could be asked that 100 different ways and we would all give the same answer. No, I don't want to miss the promised land. I don't want to miss heaven. I don't want to miss the rest that God has for my soul at the end of this life. But that's just not something we can say. It's something we have to live. It's something we have to make a choice about on a regular basis, on a daily basis. I don't want to rebel against God. I don't want to reject his love. I don't want to reject what he has given me and prefer and turn to the world that I came from, the life of sin and darkness that I came from. I got my freedom from that problem, and now I'm just going to say, okay, God, I'll see you next time I need you. Check your heart, Paul says. Remind one another to check your heart. Enter into his rest. Make choices every day. Make choices on a daily basis that lead you towards God's rest, his best and his rest for you, okay? I don't want to miss heaven. I don't want you to miss heaven. And so if I'm close to you, there might be times that I say, hey, you checked your heart lately? Hey, have you checked this area of your life lately? Check your heart. Don't miss entering into his rest. Oh, I want to see him and look upon his face. Oh, I want to see him and look upon his face. on the streets of glory. Okay, I want to go to heaven. I know you want to go to heaven, but that is a daily life. It is a daily decision that we have to make to turn away from things that displease God, to keep those things out of our lives, and to continually make decisions that draw us closer to Him and to be able to enter into His rest. Go and read Hebrews chapter 3. And if no one's told you lately, you are loved and you are cherished and you are valuable and you have beautiful, tremendous worth. You are God's kid. He loves you. Don't reject Him. Don't rebel against His love. Lay down anything that makes you desire to do so. Look to Him, the author and the finisher of your faith. You have beautiful, tremendous worth, my friend. That worth is far above rubies. Thank you for being here today, and I will see you all again tomorrow. God bless you.